What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're here at Brevard College Disc Golf Course for another Formwork Friday, and today we're talking about timing and acceleration coming together as one and working together, because if you have everything working together, you can throw very softly and still get pretty good distance. And today we're going to figure out how to make that work. There's a point in time in every throw where the disc has to come out of your hand. You're holding on to it and then you have to throw it. You have to let go of it at some point. If you just let go of it, you are determining when everything is coming out. So you're determining your timing. However, if all you're doing is holding on to it and then letting your body mechanics determine when the timing is and when it rips out of your hand, then you can start to really hone in on some power and accuracy you didn't necessarily have before. And the way I like to feel it is to just kind of hold the disc with a finger or two and try to swing it. Feel the weight of the disc swinging on the tip of your finger. Feel that weight. And then when you go to throw, feel the weight as it's coming off of your hand. And I feel like it would be helpful if we have a couple of definitions. So what most people think about when they're thinking about that point in time when it's ripping out of your hand, they think of that as the hit point or the snap. But I think there's a lot of differences between what most people consider the hit point and the actual point of release in the disc. Because there is a difference. When I'm going through, my hit point is actually when this foot hits the ground. That's my hit point. That's my plant foot. That's when it's stomping down. That's my hit. But I haven't thrown yet. I don't even start to accelerate until my hit point has already happened. And then I'm accelerating into the release point. And when you're thinking about the release point, what I'm thinking about, at least, is I've thrown so many times. I know the feel of a clean release. I know the feel of the disc just ripping out of my hand. So I'm trying to feel that release in my brain at the point where I need it. So I'm not even looking down the fairway. I'm not focusing on anything. I'm focusing on that exact feeling coming out of my fingers at that exact point of release. So if I can figure out where I need that exact point of release to be, I can be extremely accurate. And I was focusing on this point right here. That's all I was thinking about for that throw. Throw, focus. And you feel the hit point. You feel the release point, not the hit point. And I think the mistiming comes from people thinking that their hand has to be here as their foot is hitting the ground. It doesn't. Everyone's timing is different. Figure out your own timing, plant, and then accelerate. Don't accelerate thinking you're behind, because then you accelerate here and then you have nowhere to go from there. Start slow, accelerate hard. Right in there. And so this is actually one of the reasons why I do use one of the NeoSoft spores in my tournament bag on a daily basis. Whenever I'm out playing, I almost always have a spore with me. It's because when you have a spore, if you try to power it, it's not going to work. You have to give it the spin and the speed. You can't just give it some power, because it's not going to withstand the torque. So you need to have that last little fast flick. And so using this helps me keep my acceleration further out in front of me. And so my acceleration isn't here anymore. It's a little bit further out, and that's how I can get distance with a 1-speed. Edge of circle, maybe I don't have the most distance control with a 1-speed glidey putter, but I didn't throw it super hard. All I did was focus on that last little bit here. I focused on this part and not this part. Focus on the right point in time. You'll go a lot further. I talked a couple months ago about where your elbow placement and where that arm needs to be, and keeping that elbow out away from your body, keeping in this position definitely helps sometimes, depending on how you're using it. If you're using this elbow to stay out here and then you're extending and then you're throwing, it's not really doing much for you. But if you can keep that elbow out and then bring the elbow, keep that elbow out away from your shoulder, it's going to help pull your elbow further forward, which is going to help with that acceleration further a little bit later in the throw. So if I take this and I throw it as hard as I can, and I focus on proper timing, where does that get us? This is a C-line DD, 11.6, -3.1. I'm not going to go max power. I'm just going to focus on the acceleration point out here. I'm going to be hitting about here. That's my point of release. That's what I need to focus on. And I know the feel in my fingers of the disc ripping out of my hand. So that's what I'm focusing on right there. It's that simple. That wasn't super powered. It was just hit the exact release point and the exact timing window, and amazing things are going to happen. This is a 166 gram Proton Crave. Similar idea, not max power, just hit it smooth and controlled, and then watch how far it goes. Like, I can only give you so much. At a certain point, it has to be feel. I've actually taken a lot of different classes and stuff, and I've worked jobs where I'm coaching physical movements. And one of the big things that I find to be true is the feel versus real. You can look at it, I can feel it, you can watch it happen, you can actively do it, but until you feel that point, it's going to be really hard to recreate it. So figure out what that exact precise release point is, and then go out there and try and recreate it and have fun. Hopefully you enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you have anything else that you want to see, especially formwork ideas, make sure to leave those comments down below, and make sure to subscribe. If we can hit 1,500 before the end of Christmas time, going to be adding an extra giveaway disc into the pin. But make sure you're telling your friends and families, and until next time, see you out on the course.